to the Cards and Comic Show. Welcome back to Cards and Comics, and for people who've pieced together my backstory, I moved to New York from Indiana, and I'm back in Indiana to go to the Fisher's Indiana Card Show, which I used to set up at every month. So I haven't been there in 3 years, so I haven't seen a lot of my buddies and friends I used to set up with and do card deals with, so it's the first time in 3 years. I feel like flipping Steve in my car. Now, to prove I'm back in Indiana, I'm going to do a little camera flip and show you the corn. Look at that. There's a barn. There's corn. Another barn. I am in Indiana, so there you go. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some video from there. I don't know. I might talk to some folks. My buddy Andy, who runs Indy Card Exchange, and we'll see. But you know, I got my branding on. I'm sure no one's ever heard of my channel, so that'll be fun. And we'll get it going. And so I'm on my way, and I'll be there in probably 45 minutes. All right, I'm at the show now, and you can see the very, very full parking lot. Not like this when I was setting up. It definitely has changed some. So we're gonna go inside and see what we can find and do some deals and meet some folks, hopefully. All right. At the show, and did a deal with Eddie.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, so I traded and sold some cards for this, basically half and half for this 49 Jackie Robinson, and it was a great deal. Hey, Eddie, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you can see he's got some awesome stuff here. Look at this card, man. Very nice. The actual true rookie card of Michael Jordan, right? Versus but just really nice cards, and I appreciate the deal. And first deal of the day, my favorite card. I can't afford it, but I love that card too. So thank you very much, and we'll move on. Right. Deal number 2 I got from, sorry, let me get you guys, sorry, High Five Cards and Collectibles. I've got a 1998 Luminaries Gold, Peyton Manning, PSA 8. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate the business.
Thank you. Check these guys out, and awesome cards. Really awesome. Thanks, guys. Hey, so last deal of the day, 96 SI for Kids Tiger Woods, PSA 3. Great deal. So this is a special one for me because this is my buddy Russ.
Hey.
Russ and I set up together at this show for a lot of years.
Indeed.
And he's got a lot of great cards. I almost bought that 71 Peachy right there. And that Hank Aaron and that Munson are great cards. I already have them, so I didn't go ahead and pull the trigger, but he's got some good prices. So Russ, what is some of the memories you have of us setting up at shows together? It's been a while.
I remember setting up, we used to set up side by side, and you always had better stuff than me. And I leached off your customers because they'd come over to you, buy all your vintage, and then make their way over to my low-end stuff. But I learned a lot from you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, yeah, I'd say that as we went along, there was a lot of competition on who had the best stuff at a lot of shows.
I did, and I cherish every trip we made back and forth to the big Chicago shows, Cincinnati shows.
Moeller, Chicago, yeah, we did a lot of trips together.
A lot of good times.
I've said on my channel a lot that, you know, when I moved to New York, I lost my community for card collecting, and it's been a journey to try to find it back. And I started the YouTube channel explicitly trying to get, you know, people and communication, and because, you know, I had this show every month to go to, and you know, Jeff, Andy, Steve. I haven't seen Steve in a while.
Is he still collecting?
He was here.
He was
earlier
here.
today.
He didn't come by and say hi. Andy, I know, came early. So I'm bummed I didn't get to see everyone, but I made some good deals. It was fun. Can't wait to come back. Hopefully in June I might come and set up as a dealer. We'll see. So
Big show in June.
Big show.
2-day show in June.
So that's my last deal of the day. I got to go. I got family stuff to take care of, but appreciate it. And thanks for us. Thanks for the deal. Thanks for the memories. I'll be back, I'm assuming, at some point.
All right. Hopefully you like those clips. I'm not a videographer that was shaky cam and people out of frame, but that's the best I could do. Audio is hard to do in those shows as well. So, okay. Moving on to my pickups now. So I'll try to put them in order from the show. Now, I sold a lot of cards. I don't think you saw everything I sold, but I sold a lot of things to be able to, afford it and get what I got because that's what you got to do sometimes. But I came in with money ready to go, and I was really looking forward to a good show. And that show is really impressive now compared to when I was there before. It's got a lot of good dealers, a lot of great material. And so we'll start here with the first card I wanted to showcase here. And that is the 49 Bowman Jackie Robinson 5. And I posted on Instagram. Hopefully, folks saw it. It's a great card. It's just a really well-centered card. And you can see it's got good color. And I've got a really weird setup for where I'm filming. I didn't bring in my normal setup, my camera, in terms of like my tripod. And so I'm just doing things on top of boxes and just trying to wing it. So this is kind of a do-it-yourself video. So holding everything and just trying to get through it. But I want to do it while it's fresh in my mind and not wait till I get back to New York and do it then. So I wanted to do this as soon as I could. But here's the card. And this is the card I really wanted to buy. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to get it. There were some other cards the guy had too, like the 52 Topps Willie Mays. That card was really nice as well. He had a 5.5 52 Bowman Mantle as well, but I already have that card in a 6. I didn't want to really invest the resources on a card I already had, and this card. And I just did I just put in the can a video on Jackie Robinson. So this card was just like, it was like I was working on this video, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, I got a chance to actually add to my Jackie collection. So this puts me at 3 Jackies. I have the 55, the 56, and now the 49 Bowman. So there you go. Probably the best card I picked up all year. It's not probably, it is the best card I picked up all year. In terms of value and just historical significance. And obviously for the grade and the condition, it's just a beautiful card. So again, sorry about the lighting here. I got kind of soft lighting, so none of the cards are really going to pop up too much. So, oh well. It's hard to do everything perfect. Next card I picked up was a card I was just walking around the show, and sometimes you just see things and you want to buy them just because they're cool cards. Now this card is, being a Marvel collector, I've been buying things, like PMGs and Jambalayas. Obviously there's a lot of people talking about the market correcting there, but hey, I was in it before, and so I'm in it to win it now. But this is not a Marvel card, but this is a 2021 metal skybox Jambalaya Evgeny Malkin, Evgeny, sorry, I can't say people's names right. But here's a Jambalaya. I know it's hard to see with kind of the glare from this poor setup I've got, but it's a great card, and it's a cool card. And I actually had a chance to pick up the Lafreniere, and there's a guy who I've got the information from that has it. And so I may actually pick up the Lafreniere as well. Just because I really like these cards. And I know they're not the original, but, who knows? They may do them every year from now, but they may not. But I just like having more and more of these cool inserts. And that's just a fun card to pick up. So Evgeny Malkin, the Jambalaya from last year's metal skybox. Now, the next card I picked up was very funny because it's actually, if you go to my video on 1998 stars, where I open a box of stars, Football, 98 stars, tops stars, football. I opened a box, but in the thumb, I actually have this card in the thumb. It's kind of like one of the best hits you can get out of the product, which is the Top Stars Luminaries Gold. So the gold version of this card. And I found it at the show and I was super surprised. But being an Indianapolis show, you're going to have a lot of cool Peyton Mannings. And so here is the Luminaries Gold from 98 stars. So this is a rookie card, gold. And again, these cards are numbered out of 50, 23 of 50. And these things are incredibly hard to pull. I just, you saw the box I opened. I didn't even get, I think, a stars bronze out of the whole box. It's, to get the gold, these are, they're numbered to 50. Okay, let's start there. It's a rookie card numbered to 50 from a crazy hard to pull set. I was super, super stoked this card was there. I know it's only an 8, but hey, there's only 50 of them out there. And this card is, to me, from a Peyton Manning collector, in let's say in 5, 10, 20 years, this will be one of those cards that, people would just be dying to try to find and get if you're a super collector of Peyton Manning. So I love this card. I love this set. I opened a box of it, got skunked. And so it's kind of funny. I was able to get probably one of the best hits out of the product at a show, just kind of like walking around. Next two cards, I'm going to talk about are the PMG cards I picked up from 2017 Ultra Spider-Man. So here is the Deadpool. I didn't pull very many Deadpools when I was opening this product. Definitely didn't get any color. So this is awesome to get a color Deadpool. Color match what I meant is, and just a cool card. I'm glad to continue to not have to pay, let's say, the crazy prices. But these cards will never go to zero, and it's great to have this card, which I think is one of the cooler looking Deadpools out there. And just a nice card. And then the other one I picked up was Wolverine, and Wolverine is, I never pulled also any real Wolverine cards. So it was very interesting that the ones I pulled a lot of the same characters and didn't get a lot of like Wolverine. I got, Spider-Man. I got some of the other big hits, the Iron Man, Red, but I never got, a lot of Wolverines or Deadpool. So I corrected that by picking some of the show, and really, really cool to find these. And you can see the diversity of the cards I'm getting at the show is just crazy. It's awesome to be able to get PMGs and jambalayas, hockey jambalayas, and 49 Bowmans, and rare 90s insert Peyton Manning rookies numbered to 50. I mean, if you think about it, and this is my local show, if you could find a card over $500, sometimes it was hard. Now it's turned into something pretty awesome. All right, my last two cards came from my buddy Russ. Hopefully in the video you saw when I talked to Russ, we have a big history together. We set up next to each other at shows for many years. We would go to card shows together, out of state. We went to nationals together, a lot of the Chicago Sports Fest together, and just a lot of fun, a lot of good times. Eating pizza in Chicago after the shows was always an event. Looking forward to it. I really appreciate Russ, let me film at his table. He let me put my stuff behind his table. And that's when I really talk about community. When I say it, I've said it in a lot of videos, so I'll say it again. When I moved to New York, I lost my community a little bit, and I wanted to start YouTube to kind of find and connect in more collectors and just talk about cards and have fun with it. And this is it, so this show really brought it back to that level of me collecting and just having fun and having the money and the cards to be able to trade around and get cool stuff and kind of recycle my collection and get some new stuff. So that's what I love. And that's sort of, these last two cards were sort of awesome to get them from Russ, who's, pretty much my number one hobby buddy. So the first one I picked up so I was looking at his cards. He had 4 cards that I really wanted. And this was the one I ended up getting the first time. So he had a 71 Thurman Munson PSA 7. He had the 71 O-Pee-Chee Nolan Ryan PSA 8. He had this Tiger Woods card. And I'm trying to remember, I think he also had, well, he had like a Jerry Rice rookie card. And so, he had a 55 Aaron, 55 Bowman Aaron PSA 7. So here's the deal. Like, I already have the 55 Bowman Aaron in an SGC 7, but it's a nice 7. So that was kind of a duplicative card. But I didn't have the 71 Peachy. I didn't have the Tiger Woods card. But I also have the 71 Munson in an SGC 7.5. So again, and I also have another one that's raw that I'm getting ready to send into PSA at some point. So again, I didn't want to really spend a lot of money on duplicative cards like I did with the 52 Bowman Mantle. I already had that card, and even though it was a good card, I didn't want to just spend and waste time and money on cards I already have. But I've never owned this card, this Tiger Woods. And this card had just recently sold and is starting to go up in value again. The 96 SI for Kids. And 8's about as good of a grade you're going to get in that card. I know there are some higher grades, but to me, it's, I want to get an auto at some point of Tiger just because of, his legacy. And, I thought it was cool he came back and played, the Masters and made the cut. So that was awesome to come back from injuries. I just feel like over time, this card will eventually continue to rise. It's going to be one of those cards that people want to have, all the greatest rookie cards of all time. So it's going to be something I'm going to stash away, put it away, and hopefully, it doesn't go to zero. I don't think it will. But to me, it's a great card. And it's also part of my collecting, when I was in college and watching him at that Masters and, win it by I don't know, 17 strokes. I don't remember what it was now, but, just seeing something like that, watching it live was awesome. And it's part of my, like sports history collective memory. And so getting this card after so many years is a lot of fun, and got it from Russ. That made it more special. Now, after the show was over pretty much, I went back to Russ's table and we kind of worked out a deal, and I did get the 71 OPG Nolan Ryan. I went back and grabbed it. So that is just one of those things where I felt like I had to grab it. He made me a good deal on it. It's a great card, and I just felt like, I've got a lot of the good OPG cards already. I've got some nice 71s. And I've got the Pete Rose, right? So it's like, might as well go all in and get this Clemente card. Or sorry, Nolan Ryan. If it was Clemente, I would have done it in a heartbeat. But Nolan Ryan is still a great player, one of the best cards in the set. And I did a whole video on OPG. I'm a big believer in OPG, a huge believer in OPG cards. So I kind of like practice what you preach. If you really believe in the OPG cards and the value, put this sucker away. You're not probably going to find another one at a show walking around anytime soon. And I did. Russ made me a good deal, and I went ahead and went back and grabbed it. So there it is. That's my card show pickups. Now, you can see I got the Indy Card Exchange hat that Andy, the owner, gave me. So I did go to the shop, spent half a day there on the Tuesday. So I went to the card show on Saturday, and then the show. Now, I missed Andy at the show. He was there, but he left early, probably because he has a business to run, and we actually didn't get a chance to talk, and I was probably bummed out. And so I got permission from the wife to come down to the shop because I had to do some other things in town as well, because we get back here, and we have a lot of business to do here as well, from banks to other stuff. I still do a lot of stuff in Indy. So I was doing that stuff, and then I said, well, I'll just run by the shop. She's like, yeah, go ahead. Talk to Andy, and I did. And so while I was there, I bought some cards, and a lot of fun. And he was a cool dude, and always, and he gave me some good deals, and we'll start kind of go low to high. He just bought some 59 Topps cards and had some graded. So I picked up, he had a Roger Maris 6, a little off-center, but still really nice card. Second year Roger Maris. Grabbed it, and being in the New York area now, I do feel like Roger Maris people do collect him. So I went ahead and grabbed a 6 there. I really like this. Again, the combo card here is a Keyline and Maxwell. It's only a 7, but I think that those pink cards on 58 Sorry, 59 just are really cool looking. Something about him just makes me think it's fun because it's the Bob Gibson effect there. And then he did have an early win, so another Hall of Famer and a sub. And so I went ahead and grabbed these 359 cards. And again, getting volume into 50s Hall of Famers is never a bad thing. Even though Maris isn't a Hall of Famer, his cards are treated like that a lot of times. Next up, a card that I've loved for a long time and have a really fun story about. So Mike Trout, this is the action or at bat version. So this is the rarer version of this card, and these were pretty rare. I mean, they've gotten a little easier to get in recent times, but these were like one a box or something like that. And it wasn't one Trout a box. It's like one of these variants of box or these in Heritage, and so. So yeah, this is like the first in action, I believe, of Mike Trout. It's worth quite a bit of money. In fact, this one just sold for over $550 recently. So this is a big card. And so my history with the card is I went to a show in Albany as a dealer, or actually closer to Schenectady, and I got this card at the show raw from a dealer who told me, hey, he hadn't done very good at the show. He needed money. He had this card. I bought it raw from him for $80, and I graded it with PSA back when you could do the whole free sub thing, for membership fees. So it was a free membership fee, Collectors Club sub. It came back at 10, and I traded it straight across for a PSA 9 LeBron James Chrome rookie card that I ended up selling at peak of around 2020. I think I got $4,500 for the LeBron. I forget what I got. I don't know. I think it was like $4,000 or $5,000. Around that time period. So I'll have to go back and really do the numbers. I just remember that was just crazy though. I took $80, flipped it to this card, graded it, flipped it to a LeBron James Chrome rookie, and then sold the LeBron, and I made a lot of money. And so that happens like once every 10, 15 years for me anyway. That was a good deal. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, those are the kind of things you kind of dream about, and you have to be in the game for a while to get those opportunities. But it was definitely organic, guy needed money. He sold me the card. He was a dealer. I graded it, came back at 10, and those things do happen. And so it was fun to get the card back many years later after that deal. That was probably like 5 years ago. And, that I did the original deal and got it graded and sold it a couple years ago. But now I got the card back, and it's a 9, so it's not a 10, but still pretty valuable. And I'm a big Trout collector, and this is the first big Trout card I picked up in a while. Now I do have an auto coming in I just picked up, and this is the first Trout auto I've had in a long time. And if you follow my channel, you'll see I did a video on Trout where mostly what I collect with Trout is autos. And so I would actually buy one Trout auto a month. I did that for a couple years. So I've got a whole double wide shoebox full of Trout autos. And go back and check out my channel. Maybe I'll link the video here if I can remember how to do that. With that, to show you all my Trout autos. And it's true. I haven't sold them. I still have all of them. And maybe, one of these days I might do something with them. But I was a real big believer in that the Trout autos would be kind of, go up to like $1,000 for on cards or something. I was, they haven't got there yet, but I thought maybe, on cards would be 1,000 and, $350 for the sticker autos. And so that was sort of what I was thinking. And that's why I did it. Cause I thought that at the time they were a little cheap. So now not so much, but I'm still having fun picking them up, when I can. And I still love on card Trout autos. So, next up was the card I was really wanting to buy when I went to the shop, because this was at the show. So Jake, when the Andy's employees at the shop, who does all the breaks, this was in their case. I priced it. It was a good price, but I was so busy doing the other deals at the show, I didn't pick it up. So when I went to the shop, I was happy he still had it, so I picked it up. It's a beautiful 64 banks. Just an awesome card. I mean, it's centered. It's got great color. It's nothing wrong with this card. You can see on the back, it's a nice back. It's centered. So this card is, to me, a Super 8 and well worth what I paid for it. Andy gave me a good deal, and there you go. And again, I don't have a huge story for this card. It's a really cool card. And I'm really glad to pick up so much cool vintage stuff. And again, I talk a lot about buying 50s cards, but, for certain players like Banks, Mays, Clemente, like the really good solid Hall of Famers from the 60s, getting these 8s now is actually a lot harder to find, and they don't come up as often. And they do, they're not as well centered as this card. So usually on eBay. So that was the reason there. And then the last card I picked up is the biggest, but for me, I'm not as big a fan, but hey, like I'm in the New York area now and I get tons of people asking for this card or cards of this guy. So there you go. Tom Brady, 2000 Bowman PSA 7. It's a really nice 7. For one thing, it's centered. This card is super hard to find centered sometimes. So this sucker's centered, and that's the first thing I saw. I was like, okay, well, I've got a card that's centered. Of course, it's going to have a few chipping on it, but if you look at it, even on the back, this card is not that bad. Comparatively for what the grade was. I honestly think, again, it's going to have a little chipping on that black. I don't know. I mean, I've seen 8s a lot worse than this, so I don't know. PSA sometimes is really tough, and again, we'll see. I mean, is it worth regrading? I don't know, but I do know it is an i7. So I'll have it at my next show I set up in New York. Hopefully draw some buzz, and it's a Brady rookie. I have a few of the cheaper ones, but getting one like this, the first Bowman, which I really think this is turning into his number one base card, because he doesn't have a Topps Chrome rookie card. He just got Bowman and Bowman Chrome, so this is now his de facto base rookie that everyone wants. And the Bowman Chrome has gone really nuclear, so love getting this. So there you go. That's what I picked up. I picked up 3 boxes here. I got 2021 hockey. I got Topps Allen and Ginter Chrome, and a box of Inception that I'll be opening pretty soon as well. But that is what I picked up. A lot of cool cards. I mean, vintage. And again, that's why, how I collect. Vintage, football, newer stuff, Tiger Woods cards, Marvel PMGs, hockey jambalaya. That's a good day for me. That's what I love. I don't like being stuck in one rut. I like to have a diverse collection, and this is a great, weekend for me, and a lot of fun coming back to Indiana, seeing my friends, and hanging out with folks. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you like some of the cards I picked up. So that does it for this episode of Cards and Comics. Check out my videos coming up where I open these boxes, and I'll be doing those pretty soon. And I also have some other videos dropping around Jackie Robinson prices and a lot of upcoming videos. So stay tuned to my channel. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.